Hey, what's going on, cozy little gamers? It's me, Double D, back again. It's been a little bit since my last video, and that's because I haven't really been playing a ton of the game lately. Now, that's not because I think the game is shit, or I don't like it anymore, or anything like that. I'm just thinking out loud right now. This is a rambling style video, definitely some second monitor shit. It's going to be pretty bare bone. First and foremost, I want to say, this is not a plea to Blizzard to make the game differently, and I'm not trying to persuade you to play the game the way that I do or interact with its systems the way that I do. If you're enjoying it and you're playing it, that's awesome. That's totally cool. I've just been talking to some of my friends, some of my guildies, and discussing, some people are having a ton of fun. They're putting in a ton of hours right now, slamming keys, doing raids, beefing up their gear, and they're loving that there's a little drip feed of content coming out. For some of us, like myself and a few of my other friends, it feels like an exhausting format. Specifically, it really breaks down into two things: the borrowed power and time gating of the current season. So I just want to touch on borrowed power first. I remember back, maybe it was like Legion, BFA, Shadowlands-y style time, where borrowed power was like the buzzword. And everyone was talking about how they don't like borrowed power, even though tier sets are borrowed power. And they are tired of these big-ass systems being implemented into the game for expansion sets, and then they just are thrown out at the end, and then we've got nothing but like remnants of it left over. And now we've got a season where I damn near think it's just the season of borrowed power, because it's like, I don't know, every 2, 3, 4 weeks, there's like a new gear incremental step that's introduced for your character. You've got the corruptions, lesser and greater versions coming out from the horrific visions that have been thrown in. You've got this belt that's up and coming that seems like another like Cersei Circlet situation. I don't know. It'll probably end up being really good, even if it's kind of dog shit right now. I don't know the current state of it. But then you've got like turbo boosting, which is by far and away the most impactful one there, because it just amps up literally all of your gear. But all of these things like culminate together, being stretched out over the full runway length of this season, and it kind of just turned me off to the game a little bit. Now, of course, I was still, at the time when it was announced, I was still actively progging Mythic with my guild. We were very close to a Mugsy kill, and then we got it soon thereafter. Like, I think it was right when Turbo Boost released, like that week, we killed it. And we were so close to a kill already, I thought, okay, well, we're going to kill Mugsy. We're going to get it. We don't even need the gear. We just got to execute. And then after that, Gallywix is going to be dead too, because Mugsy is harder than Gallywix. And sure enough, he was. And we killed Gallywix, I think, like the week after that. So I knew that the raid was pretty much all but like wrapped up in a nice little bow. We didn't really need anything to get over that finish line. But because of that, when Turbo Boost hit, I wasn't really like super motivated to go out and amp up all of my gear. I log in and I'm thinking, okay, so I still got some pieces that I haven't managed to get a myth track item for, so I should probably just craft for those. I need to recraft my existing pieces, and I've got all this myth track gear that I need to upgrade with Gilded Crest. Okay, so how many dungeon runs? And it turns out I need like 30 to 40 runs, depending on what I get over the next few weeks, for like missing slots that I haven't grabbed yet. I'm staring down the barrel of all these plus 12s that I've got to run, and I don't want to run 12s. Like the last thing that I was just pushing in Mythic at the time, this is like 2 months ago, we had just finished up our 16 Priory. And then Turbo Boost and everything was announced. Is there really even a point to, push these 16s super hard now, when the level is just going to get, moved up 1 to 2 key levels after all this shit gets introduced? So that kind of fell by the wayside. And then I'm looking at all these dungeon runs I have to do, and I'm just thinking, why? To what end? Because in 2 weeks after that, I'll have a head enchant I gotta get. 2 weeks after that, there'll be an upgraded head enchant I gotta get. Or a week after. I forget what it is exactly. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. The point is, there is this drip feed of tiny little incremental power adjustments of varying severity or potency or importance that I know are just going to inflate everything. So my motivation to push really hard right now and continue the effort that I'm making in like keys, for instance, just plummeted. At the end of the day, I'm thinking, man, why the fuck am I playing the season early? Like, other than just being eager and, of course, enjoying the game and its combat and its fights and stuff and playing with my friends, of course, like, those elements, they don't go anywhere. The game at its core is still great, and I still enjoy playing games with my guild and raiding with them and doing dungeons with them. But as far as, like, pushing, like, aspirational stuff, that's a little more, like, personal, like, for me specifically. Why the fuck am I even, like, focused on trying to do any of this early? I could have just showed up 2 months later with, like, a fully stacked raid buff, corruptions, a special belt, turbo boosted gear. I could have been in maintenance mode this whole time and then show up at the end and just pass over the checker line and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I did it too, cutting edge, like race to world last or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, does it fucking matter? No, I'm not like a top 100 guild. There's no Hall of Fame to be gotten here. You know, who really gives a shit? I mean, at the end of the day, like, who really gives a shit? That's anecdotal because it's personal. Yeah, sure, totally subjective, but that was just how I was feeling. Now, going along with all of those borrowed power systems that are going to get thrown out at the start of the next season when the gear inflates again, they don't matter, but the worst part about it is that how time-gated it is. And really, all of the content has been for, like, this back half of the season. It's just, seriously, like, every 2 to 3 weeks, like, the turbo boosting of the gear, the dinar system and that they just fixed, because if you hadn't been playing up to this point, I think you were just getting screwed on dinars or something like that. The corruptions from the horrific visions, this belt that's coming out, all of this stuff just gets trickled out across the rest of the season. But it feels like in this season specifically, it has just been dialed up to 11. Like, even the new little world event, the Nightfall thing over in Hallowfall, even that's fucking time gated. I went over there just to check it out, to say I did it, to, you know, really, like, take part in it and be like, well, surely this is, you know, a time gated thing. It's got to be pretty engaging, right? And you get over there and it's the same shit. It's just the same kind of slop content that you're used to, you know? And then you do the horrific visions, and even those, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get all these bonuses if I just keep running it. Like, yeah, I gotta do like 5, 6, whatever runs to like get the helm enchant, but, you know, hey, if I want to do like full mask runs, what do I gotta do then? Well, hey, guess what? The little tree is also time gated. Holy shit, man, is every single element that's getting introduced here time gated? Like, I feel like in 11.17, when they released the 1-button rotation and the rotation helper, like, yeah, the first week you just get the rotation helper, and then a week after that you get the 1-button rotation helper, and then a week after that we remove the GCD penalty on it. Or, like, why is it that, like, every single thing that has come out is just like, don't drink too fast. I know we got like 4 or 5 different drink fountains here, but don't you drink them too fast. You can have one flavor right now. You slow it the fuck down. Don't be coming up mixing 5, 6, 7 different flavors together and calling it a super soda. That's not cool. The stretched out manner that is being, like, used to the 10th degree in this season, it feels like a little much for me. I mean, it is a little much for me, right? Like I just said, I'm not playing a whole lot. When I do play, I, you know, still enjoy it. I'm still showing up to raids, and, you know, I'll do a key here and there. It's not a big deal, but my motivation to, like, push super hard and do, like, aspirational goals, like push for, like, Mythic Plus title or something like that, is just, like, through the fucking floor. Like, that is almost completely gone, which is wild because, you know, I checked my stats just before this, and I have got a ton of timed runs above, like, 12s, for instance, to try to, like, push up my IO score incrementally. And then you can see where, like, Turbo Boost was announced, and I have done two keys since then to push it any higher. And the only thing that I can really look at is just how many of these systems have been implemented and mashed into the back half of the season that it feels more and more like, well, I'll just wait. I'll just wait till it comes out. I'll wait till everything is done being released, and I can just do it all at once. I can hit everything at once. I can do upgraded delves so that I can get a belt, and at the same time I'll pick up some gilded crests, and hopefully by then they like either buff the amount of crests that you get from all these little avenues, or reduce the amount of fucking valor stones that are needed to upgrade gear. Dear God. It got to the point where like a week ago or so, I started to make a video about how dog shit Valor Stones were and how I hated them, because every time I went to the upgrade vendor, I would have the crests, but it's like, no, you need 1,250 Valor Stones. Man, we're how many months into this expansion? Like, what is it? Like, since this shit released, like a year or something? I don't even know, but I've still got to do the theater troupe for Valor Stones. Like, I've got to go play pretend time with these goddamn dwarves because I don't have the currency that wasn't stacking up the past months that I've been playing the fucking game. But like, all that aside, it's just all culminated into this drip feed style like release of power gains for your character or content that you get to take part in, like dastardly duos. Like, even that's time gated. Why is it? But the visions, like, this shit was already released at some point. It just kind of doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, like, through that lens. But, you know, some people might enjoy that. They might enjoy that, like, every 2 or 3 weeks, there's a little something different for them to take part in. Totally cool. And you know what? If, like, metrics-wise, that's better and actually, like, getting people engaged and still playing the game, like, and they're enjoying it, that's awesome. Like, do it again. Because just because it doesn't work for me, or it's not my cup of tea, doesn't mean they shouldn't fucking do it. I'm not saying, hey, release less content. I would just like to be able to eat a whole fucking meal. And not, like, one french fry at a time. I'm a growing boy. Like, I want to go tusk time. I want to gobble it all up. You know what I mean? Like, when that content is presented, like, let a brother eat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on right now with this season. It really does feel like they're trying something here. They're trying to see, like, what works for keeping people engaged in a season as a whole. And that probably matters a whole lot more, especially right now, when they need to keep you invested in with things to do, especially when it kind of seems like we're not going to get another, like, 4th, like, Fated season, which, to me, totally okay. I don't even really particularly care for Fated seasons, but the way that they've, you know, dripped out this type of, like, power gains for your character, I really don't think I'm a huge fan of. I do wish they would dial that back some, because I like to kind of reach a point where it's like, okay, hey, you got the stuff. Now you can just play the character with the stuff. Because for me personally, the jump from season to season, like between 1 and 2, when you have big gear inflation, new raid, new dungeons, all of that, is already quick enough for me wanting to come back and be like, okay, let's do it again. Let's upgrade all our stuff. Let's get new gear. Let's get new tier sets. Let's get new trinkets. Let's do the work so that we can get powerful again. Like, yes, I want the updates. I just want them to come in the big bulk updates and not tiny little incremental updates here when I was already at, like, a cozy little spot for my guy. I think I've said that same thing like 10 different ways at this point. You know, I do want to try everything out. I do want to come back once everything is released and try to hit it hard again, and prog keys and stuff like that, because I do find it fun, though I think I might try to pivot into, like, DPS roles, because during this time when I'm not really motivated to amp up all of my gear, I've been playing a little bit of some alts here and there, and it's been a good time to kind of flesh out, you know, what gameplay styles do I like to do. You know, that's been good too, because I fucking hate tanking, I think. It's like, God, man, they really made that fucking suck. But that's a totally different topic. Anyway, how you been? How you feeling? You like it? Is it good? I tell you what, I had a lot higher hopes for that drive mechanic. I really thought I was going to be drifting around that city every day. But here I am, just flying around Dornegal, doing the same shit. Because goddammit, I need Valor Stones now. Fuck. And hey, I do want to give just a special shout out to Resilient Keys, because you have got some players in my guild that I feel comfortable now knowing that once all this shit is out, once all the power gains are released, and I come back and amp up my character, I can just go hit up my buddy who's Resilient 19s or whatever, and be like, hey, Mama Pig, Double D needs a sip. I need a supple little sip off that Mama Piggin's milk. How you doing, man? You see me. I know you know, Kaze. I'm coming to find you.